So then guys, as the title suggests, I have gone ahead and sold my Audi R8. The car I said I would never sell, nor did I need to sell it. It was quite a gem in my life and I loved it very much. But without further ado, and without milking it like I would normally do, let me reveal to you guys the Audi R8 replacement. Yes, so I have replaced my Audi R8 with another R8, and this is actually R8 number 3 now, which is actually mental to think about. But there are some key differences between this one and my previous car. My previous car was a 2007 V8 manual. This is a 2013 S-Tronic V8. So there's a couple of key differences. Being a 2013, you may notice that it is a facelift with different headlights, different grills, tail lights, and some small other changes. And for me, I'm absolutely over the moon with it. A couple of you are would have thought that I would have perhaps gone for a V10. There's a couple of reasons why I didn't, purely because there's still probably a 10 to 15 grand kind of deficit between this one and a decent V10. And to me, the spec sold this car. It's in Phantom Black Pearl, which in the sunlight is kind of purpley. It has a very unusual interior. It's kind of two-tone with silvery kind of seats and lighter carpets. This car is also equipped with a full carbon fiber engine bay, which to me looks absolutely incredible. But the fun thing for me with this car is going to be seeing how it compares being an S-Tronic over a manual. So I think without further ado, let's head out in the car, go for a drive, and just see how good this car really is. So then guys, welcome aboard my new R8 replacement, another Audi R8. Now let's first start the video by talking about why I chose to replace the R8 with another R8. So I sold the car last Monday to a guy called Kev who loved the car. He was very interested. Now, even though that car was advertised on Auto Trader, I'd pretty much decided ever since, that V10 comparison video, that I was going to keep the car. So when Kev rang me up from Auto Trader and said, is the car still available? I said, although yes, it is, I don't want to sell it. But Kev came along, loved the car, and pretty much gave me what I wanted for it. And then that is where Andy on Instagram offered me this car. So my original plan to buy something a little bit cheaper, try something a little bit different, maybe like an M2 or a Spider R8, maybe an i30N. My original plan was then thrown out of the window. Like I said, Andy offered me this at a very good price, and that is pretty much why I chose to buy it. I mentioned briefly at the start of the video, I didn't go for a V10 because a couple of reasons. In the comparison V10 video, I don't feel that on the road the kind of difference kind of justifies the extra price tag. And also this car in this spec is just absolutely stunning. I love the look of the facelift, the rear end with those massive exhaust tips. Just blows me away every time. I have already modified the car. When I bought it, it had silver side blades. I have swapped them over for the carbon fiber ones, which I had on my V8. And to me, this is just perfect. The difference between this and my orange one is night and day. This feels like, probably because it's done half the miles, but it feels like a much more modern car, very well put together. And I've got to say, coming from a manual to an S-Tronic, this is an S-Tronic, not an R-Tronic, as found on earlier R8s, the difference is, it's just outstanding. I'm absolutely loving it. For me personally, I love how engaging and hands-on the manual was. It was a proper driver's car, but I have to say this gearbox with the flappy paddles in sport mode as well, just for me makes it feel like an actual supercar. Every supercar I've driven has flappy paddles, and combined with the gearbox and the exhaust, it's just a perfect package. Speaking of exhaust, it has the same exhaust as fitted to my orange one. It is a Top Gear valved F1 system, and the cool thing about this is, rather than having a separate fob to open and close the valves, they have wired it up to this sport button, so when sport is off, the valves are closed, and when you're in sport, the valves are open. exhaust sounds absolutely unbelievable. It does sound a little bit quieter than my last one, and the downshifts are so quick, so precise and so fast. That is why I love this S-Tronic box. Oh, it sounds epic. This is plenty fast enough. The V8s in these pull like an absolute train, and to me it's just such a fantastic engine. I couldn't really justify going for a V10, but combined with this box, it's just completely changed the overall experience. And weirdly, I'm getting a lot more attention in this car than I was my orange one. You would think, being orange, people would talk to me all the time and take photos all the time, but not really. And I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's because this car is just so stealthy, it looks like an absolute weapon, but I've had people stop past my house when I'm washing it and say, "That's a nice car. Is that a new one? Have you wrapped it?" Even today at Cafe and Machine, loads of people filming it, taking photos, and it's just got to be because it's stealthy. And the facelift has just enhanced the Gen 1 look so like incredibly well that it almost looks like quite a modern car still, despite being a 2013 model. And that has surprised me. It honestly has. This car, like I mentioned, is called Phantom Black Pearl, and although I filmed the B-roll under trees and on a cloudy day, when the sun hits it, it is a mixture of greens, purples, kind of bronze as well. So I think this car, ceramic coated, will come up really, really well. And to be honest, I'm just in absolute love with this car. It is fantastic. The jump from a V8 manual to an S-Tronic has been huge, bigger than I actually thought it would be. It feels like a completely different car rather than going and buying the same car again. I'm just over the moon with it, to be fair. It's a great car. It's been well looked after. It's done low miles, and I can see this staying around for a very long time. Andy, I know you didn't want to sell it, but thank you so much for selling me this car. You looked a bit sad when I drove away, but trust me, this car is in very good hands, and I'm going to love it and cherish it for a very long time. And I think the difference with the carbon blades as well over silver, I'm personally a massive fan. But anyway guys, I think that's where I'm going to wrap up today's video. I hope you have enjoyed it. I hope you like the R8 replacement and are not too kind of bothered that I've replaced the R8 with another R8. But either way, it is a fantastic car. I hope you guys hit the subscribe button and the little notification bell so you do not miss out on any future upcoming videos with this car, as well as my ongoing garage renovation series. It's a bit unbelievable really, and it's a bit overwhelming, but I'm a very happy boy. Anyway guys, thank you very much for watching. If you like the video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, and of course make sure you subscribe. And thank you very much for watching, and thank you as always for the support. I will see you in the next one.